Stepping back, around the tunnel's edges, there were clusters of mosquito beasts' eggs, their faint glow casting a flickering light, creating an eerie atmosphere. This tunnel didn't originally exist. It was created by someone to directly connect to the cave mansion of the immortal venerable of the Seven Paths sect. But who was it that opened this tunnel to come here? Wang Lin's eyes flickered as his mind raced, rapidly sorting through everything he knew and unraveling the clues one by one, searching for even the faintest traces. Through these traces, Wang Lin began deducing the truth from ancient ages. Who could it have been? A madman? Or someone else? As Wang Lin retreated, he soon found himself at the spot where the mosquito beasts were feeding. Unaware of the turmoil in Wang Lin's heart, the mosquito beasts continued feeding happily, their bodies flickering with golden light as they slowly digested their prey. Just as Wang Lin reached the edge of the rift, about to leave, he suddenly paused. He lifted his head and gazed ahead, his mind filled with a flash of realization. Something had struck him. Long ago, I knew that a group of mysterious people appeared in the Thunder Immortal realm, members of the Flash Thunder clan. They were dressed strangely, and their magical tools and techniques were unlike anything seen before. I even saw glimpses of them when I absorbed the indestructible thunder. The lightning's memory had revealed their silhouettes. And that Kunji whip, it was their magic weapon. I had once considered going to the Five Elements Star to find NATO, because the leader of that group looked exactly like him. In the eyes of the Thunder Immortal realm, these mysterious cultivators were from outer stars. But there are no outer stars in this world. They must have come from the cave mansion of the immortal venerable of the Seven Paths sect. Wang Lin's eyes gleamed brightly. As his mind continued to analyze and deduce, the truth began to clear up. He hadn't heard the words of the cultivators from the Unity sect on the immortal firmament continent. But now, through his deductions, Wang Lin had gradually uncovered the truth. A bold hypothesis began to form in his mind. The seven-colored immortal venerable of the Seven Paths sect, this person gained the path of heaven long ago, abandoned their cultivation partner, and sealed off the Seven Paths sect to meditate on the path of heaven in their cave mansion, locking the place off completely. However, this action led to suspicions from others. One day, a gifted individual from another sect on the immortal firmament continent used a special method to open a tunnel that led directly into the seven-colored immortal venerable's cave mansion. They arrived through this tunnel. These people are the mysterious cultivators from the Flash Thunder clan. They didn't originally appear in the ancient stars beyond the realm, but here, in the Wind Immortal realm. Yet, their arrival went unnoticed by the Wind Immortal realm. They sealed the tunnel again and left the Wind Immortal realm. Perhaps they explored the inner realm, but ultimately, they exited the Great Sealing Formation and went beyond the realm. For countless years, they disappeared without a trace. Then, when the four great immortal realms collapsed, this rift may have been affected, or perhaps it opened up a path to other places due to the instability of the tunnel. Many possibilities exist, but in the end, a swarm of mosquito beasts appeared out of nowhere. These mosquito beasts multiplied inside the tunnel, tore open the sealed rift, and flooded into the Wind Immortal realm after the collapse, occupying the place. Scenes flashed through Wang Lin's mind, each one an illusion, an image he had imagined. His gaze deepened as he stared at the tunnel's end, lost in thought. This is the second time this rift has opened. But clearly, this group of people has remained here in the cave mansion. They haven't left. If they had, this stone gate and the tunnel wouldn't exist anymore. They would have sealed it completely, erasing all traces, ensuring no one could find the path in the future. Since they haven't left, then where are they now? The Five Elements Star? Perhaps they haven't found what they're looking for. Maybe what they seek is the same thing that the seven-colored Taoist and War Ghost are looking for. Mantis stalking the cicada, Oriole behind. This group must be plotting something like that. Wang Lin's body swayed, and with a swift movement, his right hand reached out and grabbed the mosquito beast, intending to take it with him out of the rift. But the mosquito beast hesitated, looking back at the millions of eggs with longing, and let out a screech. Wang Lin turned around and looked at the vast number of mosquito beast eggs. His eyes flashed, and he raised his right hand, sweeping it towards the tunnel. A gust of wind howled, scattering the eggs, and they were drawn into his storage dimension. The Mosquito King screeched in joy and, this time, without any hesitation, followed Wang Lin as they flew out of the rift. Outside, the wind of the Wind Immortal realm howled and wept, and mist filled the air. Wang Lin stood next to the rift, raising his hands and forming a seal. With a sudden inward movement, the edges of the rift shook violently and slowly began to close. Before long, under Wang Lin's divine power, the rift was completely sealed. With the rift sealed, Wang Lin formed another seal with his right hand, causing it to blur, and one by one, various restrictions manifested and continuously fell upon the rift. Layer upon layer of seals covered the rift, and in no time, countless restrictions densely enveloped it. After completing this, Wang Lin paused for a moment, still not fully reassured. He raised his right hand and grasped at the void, and immediately, the heavens and earth trembled. He summoned the massive skull continent he had obtained from the ancient burial ground, which had sprouted ancient breath leaves. The continent still contained many withered trees, but it had already grown numerous ancient breath leaves. These leaves were the result of the power Wang Lin had absorbed from the 3 ancient clan statues in the ancient immortal domain 3 years ago. After 3 years, they had finally begun to grow. With a wave of his hand, dozens of fully grown ancient breath leaves flew out, spinning around Wang Lin's hand. With a single gesture, they all adhered to the sealed rift, reinforcing the seal. After completing these tasks, Wang Lin stored the remaining ancient breath leaves and the skull continent into his storage space. He flicked his sleeves, and with the mosquito beast in tow, left the misty area. As the rift sealed, it slowly vanished without a trace, and the surrounding mist gradually thinned, eventually disappearing completely. In the sky, Wang Lin looked down at the Wind Immortal realm. His divine sense spread out, covering the endless land, and he mentally visualized the entire Wind Immortal realm. The collapse of the Wind Immortal realm was not irreversible. Thanks to the Mosquito Beast, the land fragments here were well preserved, much better than in the Rain realm or Thunder realm. As for the Flash realm, Wang Lin had never been there, so he was unaware of its changes. Let the Wind Immortal realm be the foundation, Wang Lin mused. If the Flash realm is also preserved well, it can be integrated as well. He took a deep breath, raised his hands, and his cultivation at the mid-ethereal stage surged outward. As his divine sense spread, the entire Wind Immortal realm was engulfed. In that moment, the land fragments of the Wind Immortal realm trembled violently, as if an invisible force was pushing them toward the center, drawing them together from their long-standing disintegration. As the fragments trembled, the heavens and earth rumbled, and the endless winds began to collapse. Countless mosquito beasts, which had long inhabited the Wind Immortal realm, took to the air in droves, looking around in confusion, their faces twisted in fear. Converge. Wang Lin's white hair fluttered as he shouted. With a forceful movement of his hands, he brought them together. With his current cultivation, he could achieve this, to make the fragments of the Wind Immortal realm converge once more. At the mid-ethereal stage, even within the 3rd step of cultivation, Wang Lin's power was formidable and rare, even among both the inner and outer realms. The ground trembled as it shifted and moved, creating a deafening roar. If one looked closely, the Wind Immortal realm appeared like a shattered mirror, slowly coming together, the pieces drawing closer, until they finally merged into one complete landmass. At the moment of convergence, a complete continent emerged. The winds in the sky collapsed in an instant, disappearing without a trace. The countless mosquito beasts shivered as they felt Wang Lin's presence, especially his terrifying cultivation that filled them with dread. In the past century, many mosquito beasts had been slaughtered by Wang Lin's Mosquito King, and particularly the powerful mosquito beasts had mysteriously perished. The remaining ones were not enough to stir up any significant turmoil. Having reformed the Wind Immortal realm, Wang Lin landed on the continent with a single step, sitting cross-legged. His eyes closed as his essence spirit merged with the land, controlling the newly formed continent as it surged forward. The thunderous sounds echoed as Wang Lin directed the Wind Immortal realm, forcibly pulling it out of its original world and into the starry sky of the Sea of Clouds. From afar, The continent and the starry sky emitted a powerful aura of immortal qi. This immortal qi, unlike the immortal aura, was altered by the power of incense, belonging to the immortal qi of the cave mansion realm. When Sealing Venerable had established the 4 great immortal realms, it had been for the purpose of gathering incense power, which made the lands of these realms different from ordinary ones. The mosquito beasts on this land were all under Wang Lin's oppressive aura, unable to fly away, trembling and crouching on the ground, following the land as it moved. With a rumble through the starry sky, Wang Lin remained seated on the continent. Despite his eyes being closed, his divine sense was already controlling the continent, heading straight for the Zheohe star domain. He was headed to the Flash Realm. The Flash Realm was the only place Wang Lin had never visited among the 4 great immortal realms. It was said to contain countless blinding lights, resembling a rotating galaxy, reflecting an extraordinarily dazzling spectacle. After Zhaohe's subjugation, many of the Zhaohe cultivators from Luotian returned to their homeland during the 3 years that followed. This was a place they were familiar with, where they could better heal their wounds. The Flash Realm of Zhaohe was unlike other star domains. Its entrance was completely open, and as long as one ventured deep into the northern part of Zhaohe, they could clearly see a brilliant galaxy hanging in the starry sky. This galaxy was the Flash Realm. Wang Lin had visited Zhaohe several times before, but each time he came in haste and left just as urgently. He had seen this galaxy hanging in the sky and knew that it was the Flash Realm, but had never entered it. This time, as the Wind Immortal Realm continent roared closer, it immediately sent out a wave of ripples upon appearing in Zhaohe, and the oppressive aura quickly spread. Beneath the galaxy in the northern part of Zhaohe, the Wind Immortal Realm continent slowly floated and halted. Wang Lin stood up, gazing at the Flash Realm, then took a step forward, instantly stepping into the galaxy. From a distance, the galaxy appeared to be made up of countless small fragments of continents, their emitted light combining to form the ancient galaxy. On the 3rd day after Wang Lin entered the Flash Realm, his figure stepped out from within the galaxy, appearing slightly fatigued. The moment he stepped out, he waved his right hand backward, and the entire galaxy suddenly trembled, racing toward the Wind Immortal Realm continent, surrounding it and slowly rotating. As it spun, the Wind Immortal Realm continent was immediately enveloped by the galaxy's light. From afar, the sight was stunningly beautiful. The destruction of the Flash Realm is irreparable. It will serve as the protective river for the future immortal realms. Wang Lin sighed inwardly, controlling the galaxy from the Wind Immortal Realm and Flash Realm before leaving. His next destination was the Thunder Immortal Realm of the Luotian star domain. Wang Lin was quite familiar with the Thunder Immortal Realm. He had been to many places there before. Shortly after his arrival, the massive Wind Immortal Realm continent, encircled by the galaxy, appeared in the Luotian star domain. Their appearance immediately triggered a wave of ripples, catching the attention of cultivators in the Luotian star domain who were healing. These cultivators scattered, spreading their divine sense to observe from afar. Upon their observation, their hearts jolted in shock. At the entrance of the Thunder Immortal Realm, the ancient thunderbolt that had once existed had long since disappeared, drawn away by Wang Lin years ago. Now, returning to this old site, he showed no hesitation, stepping directly into the Thunder Immortal Realm. The collapse of the Thunder Immortal Realm was catastrophic. The continents within had been largely taken by Yin Lazy years ago, and after numerous other incidents, only a few remained. The entire Thunder Realm now resembled a wasteland, desolate and highly unstable, as if it could collapse again at any moment. Looking at everything before him, Wang Lin sighed deeply after a long while. This place is no longer usable. The Thunder Immortal Realm is no more, Wang Lin muttered quietly, retracting his divine sense and turning to leave. Just as he was about to depart, in the deep interior of the Thunder Immortal Realm, where the war ghost resided, a strange light flickered in his eyes. Wang Lin could not sense his presence, but the war ghost could see Wang Lin clearly. Recondensing the 4 great immortal realms. How much does he really know? Is he the 3rd one? The war ghost murmured, not preventing Wang Lin from leaving. The moment Wang Lin exited the Thunder Immortal Realm, a faint glimmer of sharpness appeared in his eyes. When his divine sense had enveloped the Thunder Immortal realm earlier, he had not detected the war ghost. However, his heavenly reversal pearl inside him suddenly stirred, sending out a strange force. Through this force, Wang Lin immediately sensed the war ghost in the depths of the Thunder Immortal realm, watching him. Wang Lin did not act rashly. Instead, he revealed no emotion, simply turning and walking away. So, he has been hiding here all along. Once out of the Thunder Immortal realm, Wang Lin unleashed his full speed, heading toward his final destination, the Kungsu Rain realm. Several days later, at the junction of the four great immortal realms, Wang Lin stood in the starry sky. In less than half a month, he had traversed the four realms, gathering enough resources to recondense the immortal realms. Looking at the stars in the domain, Wang Lin closed his eyes. After a long while, he suddenly opened them, making a hand gesture and pointing downward toward the starry sky. With the Wind Immortal Realm continent as the foundation, create the new Immortal Realms land. As soon as the words left his mouth, the Wind Immortal Realm continent, now gathered, surged toward him from behind, floating in the direction he pointed. The pressure of its aura spread out, and immortal chi surrounded it. Its location was exactly at the junction of the four-star domains, and if divided into four, each of the four domains would occupy 2/5 of it. This new immortal realm is small. The broken dust of the rain realm will be used to expand it. With a wave of his hand, his storage dimension appeared behind him, and from it, endless dust from the rain realm, which he had gathered, immediately began to pour out. The moment the dust appeared, it immediately merged into the immortal realm of the Wind Immortal continent, spreading in layers, causing the land to be covered in thick dust. At this moment, Wang Lin raised his right hand, 5 fingers pointing toward the sky. His eyes gleamed with a flash, and above the starry sky, a huge palm print suddenly shot out with a thunderous roar. This palm print was none other than Wang Lin's divine technique, Soul Subjugation Seal. As the seal emerged, under Wang Lin's control, it slammed toward the continent. The force was fierce, but there was no destructive power. Instead, it used the oppressive power of the Soul Subjugation Seal to condense the dust on the continent. As it solidified, the land trembled and began to expand outward. The sound of booming echoed, and gradually, the continent visibly expanded, becoming vastly larger from a distance. Flash Realm Silver River, become the protective river of this new immortal realm. Let this river divide the immortal and mortal realms, preventing cultivators below the spirit transformation stage from entering. This is the rule. Wang Lin flicked his sleeve, and the Flash Realm Silver River roared as it circled the continent. Once it fully surrounded the land, it burst forth in waves of silver light. Under this light, the new immortal realm formed its own domain. Revolving wheel formation, with this new immortal realm as the core, integrate the aura of the ancient stars. Wang Lin bit his tongue and spat out a mouthful of his essence spirit blood, sprinkling it over the new immortal realm surrounded by the Silver River. As the blood fell, the revolving formation that enveloped the realm moved abruptly. A rotating phantom appeared above the new immortal realm, slowly spinning as it absorbed the aura of the ancient stars from beyond the realm, flooding into the continent of the new immortal realm. This realm has been formed, though it is still in its infancy. Its future transformation no longer requires my intervention. But now, the final task remains, merging the souls of all the cultivation stars in the 4 major star domains within this realm. Only then can mortals born here, who later become cultivators, be guided to ascend to the immortal realm when they break through the peak of spirit transformation. Wang Lin sat cross-legged on the illusory rotating wheel hovering above the new immortal realm. His eyes closed as his essence spirit flew out from his forehead. With a tremor, his essence spirit split into several parts and flew toward the 4 corners of the realm. Meanwhile, over the past half-month, due to Wang Lin's actions, the cultivators in the realm had already learned of his plans. Led by Qing Lin and others, they had received Wang Lin's telepathic communication. As Wang Lin solidified the new immortal realm, the remaining tens of thousands of cultivators scattered across the 4 major star domains, to every cultivation star and floating land where life could emerge. The creation of the new immortal realm was not a task Wang Lin could complete alone. He merely had to form the embryo of this realm. In truth, Redfur Master and others could have done it too, but they needed to heal after the battle and were unaware that all of this was the secret of the cave mansion, thus unable to see further. Only Wang Lin, after understanding everything, realized the weight of responsibility. He had to do certain things. Wang Lin knew that the war with the ancient stars beyond the realm might be ending or already over. But in reality, a greater test for the realm was about to arrive. This test would either result in his ultimate victory, leading the people here out of the cave mansion, or the complete death of all the cave mansion cultivators, the destruction of all life, and the birth of new cave mansion beings after tens of thousands of years, starting a cycle like reincarnation. Perhaps, on some distant day, an infant named Wang Lin would be born, crying as he came into the world. Over the next half-month, tens of thousands of cultivators from the realm appeared across the 4-star domains, extracting portions of the souls of each cultivation star. They then journeyed to other cultivation stars. By the third-to-last day of the final month of this 3-year period, as the last of the cultivators returned, they offered all the cultivation star souls they had gathered. These star souls fused with the new immortal realm. With each fusion, as the last cultivator returned, the new immortal realm fully integrated all the star souls from the 4 major star domains capable of nurturing life. From that moment on, any cultivator who ascended to spirit transformation on these cultivation stars would be guided to fly into the new immortal realm. Once this was complete, Wang Lin's divided essence spirit returned to unity and merged with his physical body. He opened his eyes, rose, and bowed respectfully to the countless cultivators around the realm. I, Wang Lin, may not return. From now on, the title of Sealing Venerable no longer applies to me. 3 years of guarding, the formation of the new realm, this is the last thing I did. From here on, I must go, to defy this immortal. If I succeed, the immortal realm shall shatter. If I fail, Lin shall perish. Situ, if I die, I ask you to tell the world everything I've shared with you. Write it on a jade slip, leave it on every cultivation star, embed it in every magic artifact, and place it within this new immortal realm. Even if all life is destroyed, let this event become an indelible mark that even the path of heavens cannot erase, allowing future generations the possibility to know it. Wang Lin raised his head, turned, and took a step towards the distance. His figure, alone, resolute, and unwavering. Behind him, the tens of thousands of cultivators, including Qing Lin, Redfur Master, and Situ Nan, all bowed in unison, clasping their fists in respect. What is responsibility? After over 2,000 years of cultivation, Wang Lin only truly understood the weight of this responsibility just a few years ago. The Sealing Venerable is both powerful and responsible. Though this title has only been with Wang Lin for a short time, it has pushed him toward a true maturity as a cultivator. This maturity is a spiritual enlightenment, a process of self-strengthening. Only those who understand the weight of responsibility can be called true strength. It may sound abstract, but to Wang Lin, the most direct example of strength was his father. His father, though merely immortal, was strong in young Wang Lin's eyes. At the same time, his father carried the heavy burden of the family, a responsibility, an unwavering figure who shielded them from the storms. When the father is present, the family is whole. This is strength. After over 2,000 years of cultivation, Wang Lin, in this moment, gradually understood many thoughts through the image of his father in his memories. The affairs of the world are often like this. The small reveals the great. The microscopic mirrors the macroscopic. After guarding the inner realm for 3 years, condensing the new immortal realm, and shedding countless blood, Wang Lin could not afford to look back. There was no turning back for him. He could only march forward, where one path might lead to his death, while another could shatter the heavens in a grand display. The road ahead stretched out under his feet, step by step, growing further away. His white figure, like a willow catkin falling in the starry sky, rootless but not lost, gently fluttering as though searching for something, before being swallowed by the dark starry curtain without a trace. Outside the revolving wheel formation of the Cloud Sea Star domain, Wang Lin's true body sat cross-legged. In the final 3 days of this third year, he slowly opened his cold eyes with each breath. Turning, he gazed toward the inner realm. In the distance, his clone, dressed in white, walked step by step, without causing any ripples or emitting any booming sounds. Yet, each step was incredibly heavy. When Wang Lin's clone arrived and stood beside his true body, they both turned their heads to look toward the inner realm. This scene, like a painting, could become a treasure to pass down through the ages if it were to be preserved forever. The starry sky was the backdrop, the revolving wheel formation provided the color tone, and the two identical faces sitting and standing inside the formation gazed at the world. After a long time, Wang Lin's clone turned his head and took a step toward the true body. As soft light shimmered, the two figures merged with a resounding thud. Wang Lin's white hair spread wildly, and his body rose from its meditative posture. His gaze shifted away from the outer ancient stars, and his cold eyes locked directly onto them. The last 3 days. The 4 great generals of the ancient immortal domain will arrive. Inside and outside the cave abode, a final hidden truth will be revealed. It's a pity, even now, I still don't know what that third force is. Wang Lin remained silent. But no matter what, this final battle will be fascinating. The 7 colors Taoist, War Ghost, and the 4 great generals who seek to awaken the immortal venerable. And lastly, those immortal firmament cultivators emerging from the wind immortal realm passage. Before that, let me open the chaotic prelude to this final battle. Wang Lin's eyes gleamed brightly. In a flash, he stepped out of the revolving wheel formation, heading directly for the outer ancient stars. Destruction of the outer ancient immortal domain. Wang Lin's brows furrowed, his killing intent rising. As he stepped into the outer ancient stars, his figure transformed into a long rainbow, streaking through the sky, his full cultivation unfurling, charging ahead. He hid no aura, concealed no presence, but boldly declared to the entire outer realm, Wang Lin has arrived. The stars shook, and with the release of Wang Lin's divine sense, the high-level cultivators in each of the tribes within the outer ancient stars were immediately roused. No matter what they had been doing, they all looked up to the heavens in shock. They could clearly sense an overwhelming killing intent coming from the inner realm. Wang Lin did not know the exact location of the outer ancient immortal domain, and he did not blindly search. Instead, he sped toward the heart of the ancient stars. Though uncertain of the specifics, as long as he remained here, when the ancient immortal domain opened 3 days later and the 4 great generals arrived, he would be able to feel the awakening of the outer ancient immortal domain's presence as well. As Wang Lin's divine sense spread, the moment it engulfed the entire ancient star of antiquity, the Palm Sovereign, in another palace floating in the starry sky, fixed his gaze ahead. His withered right hand gripped tightly, and he hadn't loosened it for a long time. He remained silent for a long while, ultimately still unable to make up his mind to stop Wang Lin. He was deeply wary of Wang Lin's bow. As long as he hadn't used up all of its power, he dared not act. 2 years ago, he had intended to launch a surprise attack amidst the chaos, but unexpectedly, Wang Lin, who was in the formation, noticed him and, with a single word, forced him to retreat. He appears in the ancient star of antiquity, but for what purpose? Could he be provoking me, trying to lure me into attacking? A suspicious glint appeared in the Palm Sovereign's eyes. He couldn't understand why Wang Lin would so arrogantly appear in the ancient star of antiquity. I won't approach, but I will see what he intends to do. The Palm Sovereign's eyes narrowed in silence, a look of vexation crossing his face. His cultivation was unparalleled, and if it weren't for the terrifying power of the Liguang Bao, he would have attacked immediately. At the same moment, within the ancient star of antiquity, in a swirling black hole formed by several cultivation stars, colorful light spread, forming the figure of the 7-colored Taoist. His expression was calm as his gaze swept across the distance, a smile playing on his lips. The Liguang Bao and arrows are in his hands. Though I had the Palm Sovereign send them, it is still his fate. Now that he's here, what does he want? He's very much like the War Ghost. If he's not the third, Then he's an unusual presence among the cave mansion cultivators. Such a cultivator. If he's not the third one in the end, it would be a shame to kill him. But he does have weaknesses. If he doesn't die, he could be of use to me. The seven-colored Taoist smiled as he withdrew his gaze. The blood formation has been completed and is currently being refined. Soon enough, I will know. The third one who has been reincarnated countless times. Where are you? I have searched for you for tens of thousands of years, and I am eager to know who you truly are now. After all these reincarnations, in the ancient star of antiquity, on one of the cultivation stars, a woman in white sat cross-legged. Her beauty was unparalleled, but an icy coldness emanated from her, as though she were an unmelting snow. Sitting on a peak, her eyes were closed, but they suddenly snapped open. It's him. This woman was none other than the third consort, one of the immortal Venerable's 8 consorts. She had not participated in the battle within the realm, and after leaving the ancient burial ground years ago, she had been quietly waiting here. What is he doing here? Also, in the ancient star of antiquity, in a certain part of the starry sky, there was a massive rift. Within it, there was a space full of birdsong and floral fragrance, where the 7th consort of the immortal Venerable sat cross-legged. At this moment, she opened her eyes, revealing a strange gleam. What does he intend to do? It wasn't just these individuals who were speculating about Wang Lin's actions. At that moment, within the ancient star of antiquity, the melodious immortal Venerable, the 9 heavens demon Venerable, and others all awoke from their recuperation. They gazed at the starry sky, their expressions dark. Wang Lin's appearance, especially with the bow in his hands, put considerable pressure on them. Almost all of the supreme powers had their divine senses remotely locking onto Wang Lin's location. Because they didn't know what Wang Lin intended to do, they were all on edge. As these great powers focused their divine sense, Wang Lin's figure in the starry sky slowly came to a halt. At this moment, he was at the approximate center of the ancient star of antiquity. From here, he could instantly reach any point in any direction. His figure stopped, and Wang Lin sat cross-legged in the starry sky, his eyes closed as he silently regulated his breathing, waiting. His actions only served to bewilder those watching from the ancient star of antiquity. They were all greatly surprised by his stillness. Time slowly passed, and in the last 3 days of the 3rd year, only 12 more hours remained. Once these last 12 hours passed, the cave mansion realm would undergo an earth-shattering change. Yet, at this moment, aside from Wang Lin, no one had noticed. Even the 7-colored Taoist and the war ghost were unable to fully grasp the situation. If anyone had sensed something, it would be the one person who was sitting cross-legged on a stone in the Zhe star domain, Tian Yunzi, whom Wang Lin had overlooked. Tian Yunzi's eyes gleamed with an unusual light as his hands rapidly shifted in front of him, pushing and deducing something. His eyes grew brighter, and eventually, an expression of excitement appeared on his face. Almost the last 12 hours. Wang Lin's figure remained unmoving, slowly regulating his breathing to keep his energy at its peak. He silently circulated the blood drop formed by his immortal, indestructible body in his brow. 11 hours, 10-9. Until, when only 4 hours remained before the 3rd year ended, Wang Lin suddenly opened his eyes, and a flash of brilliance shot from them. The instant his eyes opened, all those who were watching him from the ancient star of antiquity felt a jolt in their minds, filled with endless doubt. It's it. Wang Lin turned his head, gazing toward the right side of the starry sky. Gradually, a strange look appeared on his face. To the right of Wang Lin, in the distant starry sky, a group of several hundred ancient star cultivators was roaring forward. Their hair was disheveled, their faces smeared with some unknown substance, looking vibrant and bizarre. As they moved, they let out loud, low growls. Celestial Dragon reveals the Tao. Follow my way, and you shall escape the disasters of the world. Those who do not follow will return to the chaos with all beings. Celestial Dragon Mighty. Celestial Dragon Mighty. Celestial Dragon reveals the Tao. Follow me as disciples, and I will take you to the supreme immortal realm, where you will live forever. As the word spread, behind these several hundred cultivators, there was a massive crowd of nearly 1,000 more cultivators following, also shouting those low roars. Wang Lin, who had cultivated for so long, had never seen such a large gathering of spirit stones. Although they were useless to him now, he still felt a strange expression when he saw them. Above the spirit stone platform, there was a red dragon spiraling lazily around. It wasn't very large, but it was languidly coiled around the spirit stones, its dragon eyes gleaming with light. As hundreds of cultivators carried it forward, the dragon would occasionally raise its claw to break a spirit stone off and bite it with satisfaction, clearly enjoying itself. Celestial Dragon Mighty. Celestial Dragon reveals the Tao. The roars from the cultivators around it made the dragon feel even more pleased. Humph, if it weren't for being stuck in that damned place for so many years, I would have lived better than this in the cave mansion realm. Damn Vermilion Bird, damn Immortal Venerable, and that damn Palm Sovereign. Fortunately, I escaped. Now this is the life I've always dreamed of. How wonderful. This life is so beautiful. It reminds me of the music from my hometown. I can't help but want to sing it out loud. The Crimson Dragon was incredibly pleased, its dragon claw breaking another spirit stone, which it then devoured with a contented expression. Little dragon girl under flying snow mountain, do you know how much I miss you? Your slender whiskers, your graceful body, and your soul-stirring eyes. The Crimson Dragon was so joyful it couldn't help but hum, biting down on the spirit stone. At the same time, its tail began rhythmically smacking the spirit stones to the sound of its humming, producing loud thuds. The over 1,000 cultivators around it looked helpless. The song echoing in their ears was piercing and dismal, with no beauty in it. Each time this happened, they had no choice but to shout loudly in unison, to drown out the terrible song. Celestial Dragon reveals the Tao. Celestial Dragon Mighty. This Crimson Dragon was the flame dragon that had been blooded by the second-generation Vermilion Bird in the land of falling stars. The dragon had been later given to Wang Lin, but it escaped early. With the opening of the ancient burial ground at that time, Wang Lin didn't pay attention to the dragon. Hundreds of years had passed, and just as Wang Lin was nearly forgetting about it, this poor flame dragon reappeared in his divine sense. Just as this group of over 1,000 cultivators was surrounding the dragon, the powerful divine sense of the ancient star experts that had been gathering around Wang Lin suddenly concentrated in that direction, as Wang Lin turned his gaze. The sound of the dragon chewing spirit stones still echoed, and its proud humming continued, but at that very moment, the dragon suddenly shuddered, and the sound of crunching stopped. The humming abruptly ceased. It blinked, its dragon eyes filled with confusion, but this was soon replaced by horror. Its body shook violently. What the hell? Why are there so many divine senses here? Damn it. What are they doing, gathering their divine senses like this? After a brief moment of shock, the foolish dragon immediately let out a wailing roar. Retreat, retreat, go back, it cried out, its mind trembling. It had always been cautious, carefully building up its forces and avoiding those it deemed too powerful to challenge. It feared being caught again, and even when it traveled, though it appeared arrogant, it always chose its routes carefully and cautiously. This was a path it had been carried along many times, each without encountering danger. Thanks to its peculiar divine abilities, it could conceal its presence, making it hard for others to find unless they specifically sought it out. Whenever it encountered weaker cultivators, this dragon would unleash its celestial might, scaring them into submission and forcing them into becoming part of its self-created celestial dragon Tao. But today, it never expected to run into so many divine senses halfway through its journey. The overwhelming pressure from those senses made its heart tremble. Among them, many were strong enough to make it swallow large amounts of dragon saliva. The heart of the flame dragon raced uncontrollably, its body leaping into the air as it attempted to flee through the starry sky. However, seeing its disciples around it, each with expressions of fear and confusion, the flame dragon hesitated. It fought to suppress the terror within and cautiously maneuvered its body, slowly landing on the spirit stone platform, clearing its throat several times. This celestial dragon just remembered that there's a batch of pills I'm refining. I won't go out to play anymore. Quickly take me back to refine my pills. Hearing this, despite still feeling uncertain and shocked, The over 1,000 cultivators surrounding it immediately followed the dragon's command. They changed direction, lifting the enormous spirit stone, and slowly began to retreat. However, the spirit stone was too large, and even though they were moving, their speed remained painfully slow. On top of the stone, the flame dragon's heart grew anxious. It could faintly feel the divine senses gathering around it, burning with intense heat. It also sorrowfully realized that as the spirit stone moved, the divine senses followed, locking onto it. "Damn it, hurry up. If you don't move faster, I'll devour all of you," it shouted, before quickly adding, "The pill I'm refining is extremely precious." Amid the tense anxiety and racing heartbeat, the flame dragon dared not act too suddenly. It carefully considered that if it suddenly took flight, it might trigger a reaction from those divine senses. This was not something to rush. It needed to stay calm and composed. "Celestial dragon, you are a celestial dragon. You must stay calm. It's not a big deal, just act like you didn't notice them." The foolish dragon kept encouraging itself, trembling while feigning innocence. But it was simply not good at acting. Once it tried, its nervousness became all too obvious. Slowly, as they moved farther away, to a distance of several thousand zhang, the divine senses that had been gathering around it finally faded, as the foolish dragon cheered in its heart. It seemed that for those watching, the dragon's appearance was merely an accident, and now that the interest was gone, all the divine senses were retracted. For the flame dragon, this was a miraculous escape, a great stroke of luck. It sighed in relief, making up its mind. After returning, it would not leave for 10 years and would never take this route again. It was simply too terrifying. However, just as it let out a breath of relief, the over 1,000 cultivators, still unaware of what had just happened, were filled with panic. Eager to please the flame dragon, one of them spoke up, and soon all of them were eagerly chanting, "Celestial dragon reveals the Tao. Those who follow my path shall avoid the world's calamities. Celestial dragon is mighty. Celestial dragon reveals the Tao. Follow as disciples, and we will be led to the supreme immortal realm. Celestial dragon is mighty." As these words were spoken, a powerful divine sense suddenly roared from behind the group. It exuded an overwhelming pressure, almost causing the flame dragon to lose its composure. "Mighty, mighty my foot. Shut up," the flame dragon roared, its eyes nearly filled with tears. It had thought it had escaped disaster, only to be confronted with a divine sense that made it tremble. The words that had previously sounded so pleasing now felt like a death sentence, and the flame dragon immediately cried out in frustration. After its roar, the flame dragon quickly turned around, wearing a face that looked as if it might cry, and bowed repeatedly toward the group behind. Hee. Sorry, I'll leave now. My juniors don't know what they're saying. I'm not mighty at all, not some immortal, just a snake. Yes, a snake. Just with a dragon-like appearance. Hee. The flame dragon's body shook, and its words became increasingly disjointed. Hee. I won't disturb the seniors' gathering. You all continue with your business. Don't mind me, I'll leave on my own. No need to see me off. Trembling, the flame dragon didn't even care about the spirit stone platform anymore. Its body took flight, rushing off as fast as it could. But just as it sped away, its body froze once again. This time, the dragon was truly on the verge of tears. A figure in white appeared before it. White hair fluttering, it was Wang. With a faint smile on his face, he stepped forward and glanced at the flame dragon. It's you. The flame dragon froze when it recognized Wang. Having been called a foolish dragon by the second-generation vermilion bird, it naturally had its reasons. The dragon stared at him, its eyes wide open. In its memories, this little fellow had been weak and unremarkable. But now, it automatically forgot about the terrifying divine sense that had shaken it earlier. Damn it, you dare to stop me, the dragon? You drank my blood back then, and now, you're facing me again. Today, I'll make you pay. The flame dragon's eyes bulged as it roared at Wang. Its massive mouth suddenly opened wide, and endless flames erupted from its mouth and body, expanding violently. From a distance, it appeared as a giant fireball that instantly engulfed Wang along with itself. But in the next moment, the huge fireball exploded with a thunderous roar, suddenly scattering in all directions. Countless flames spiraled back, illuminating the starry sky. In the midst of the fireball's collapse, the flame dragon let out a fearful scream as its body was violently thrown away, its eyes filled with utter terror. Wang Lin walked out from the flames, and with each step he took, the surrounding collapsing fire paused. It quickly gathered and converged into a burning flame in Wang Lin's left hand. Flame Dragon. Wang Lin's expression remained that strange, half-smiling look as he gazed at the flame dragon. I really am just a snake. The flame dragon's body trembled. It was no fool now, recalling the terrifying aura that had emanated from Wang Lin moments before.